everybody. Happy Pride. As a member of the Northern New York Pride Board, I can't fully express what it means for you all to be here this morning, but I thought I'd give it a try. Being here at this Pride flag raising, it just means you care. You care about equality, love, visibility, and community. Not just as an ideal, but as something real, something lived in everyday life. Showing up, speaking out, standing together, and making space for everyone to be exactly who they are. That's what being here means, because that's what this flag we're about to raise represents. But the Pride flag is more than just a symbol. It's a signal that says you're equal, you matter, you're safe. When that signal is missing, or worse, ignored, it sends the opposite message, one of exclusion and vulnerability. Many of us know that feeling all too well. That's why raising this flag matters. And let me tell you, we should never take this moment for granted, because the signal, it can be dimmed, it can be easily taken away. I'd like to share an example. A few years ago, at River Pride in Clayton, just up the road, we had a keynote speaker who was the first woman ever elected as a Supreme Court Justice in our district. She happens to be someone I've known for a while, but she shared something that morning I'll never forget. She talked about when she was running for the district Supreme seat in her own party. Her own people told her to, quote, wait her turn. To not run for that seat just yet. It wasn't her turn. She quickly realized that the hesitation wasn't about her qualifications. It was because she was a woman. Her response to those people, I'm not going to wait my turn. I'm going to make my own turn. I'm going to make my own turn because you have to make your own turn. And so she did. She was elected, re-elected, and elected again. That one bold step opened the door for so many others to follow, including right here in Watertown, somebody you just heard from, the city's very own first woman mayor, elected just last term. And here's what's powerful. It doesn't matter that one ran for judge and one for mayor. It's probably one of the only scenarios where it doesn't matter that one's a Democrat and one's a Republican. Judge Clark showed our region that a woman could win a seat of power that impacts people's daily lives. And because of her, and others like her, years later, Mayor Campo gets the opportunity to do the same. It sets the precedent for the next and the next. Whether we agree or disagree on most things, I think we can all agree that everybody deserves a chance for a seat at the table. We all stand on the shoulders of those who came before us, because representation matters. Representation of people who look like you, live like you, love like you, in leadership or represented in a flag. It all represents that you can step forward too, that you can take your turn. That's what this whole inclusion thing we're always talking about really means. It means that our community is made up of all kinds of people, each with their own story, their own truth, and something valuable to offer, to give back. When Watertown launched its first Pride celebration in 2019, soon after it, inspired by it, we launched our own River Pride I mentioned earlier in Clayton. Built on the foundation and courage by many of you here today, notably Jeff, Mark, Colleen, and Nancy. It's great to be here with you. Like you, in our first year, we raised the Pride flag in Clayton, a beautiful, meaningful moment for so many in our community. But not long after, an ordinance quietly passed that wouldn't allow us to do it again. And we're not alone. That's happening in small towns and cities across the country. The argument by some on our village board, and by many, is often that, well, the only flag we need is the American flag. Well, I want to say, and believe me when I say, I love that American flag. My brother's in the Army. I am so proud of him. I myself have tried to volunteer as much as I could right here at Fort Drum for the soldiers we know and love. I love that American flag. We fly the American flag above the Pride flag on purpose. It's meant to say that America, represented by its flag, is meant to watch over all of its people. And that, symbolically, flying at its foundation, while sometimes maybe lesser seen, all of its people, with all of their diversity, today standing here at its base, are exactly what make the American flag above it, what make America great. I went to the village board meeting in Clayton. I explained this. I spoke respectfully. I spoke calmly. I asked them to reconsider. They didn't. But we didn't give up. Instead, we found a part of our river community outside of the village that said yes, stepped up, raised the flag, and stand with us each year now. That's what this movement's all about. Not just knocking on the closed doors, but finding the open ones. And when there are none, building our own, making our own turn. Last year, we faced a similar challenge right here in Watertown. After several years of pride flag raisings, questions were raised about whether it should continue. But something powerful happened. This community, standing right here, came together. Voices were raised, stories were shared. And as you can see, this time, your leaders listened. They didn't make space for just a flag. They made space for people, for visibility, for connection, for truth. Because every time we fly a pride flag, it tells someone, you matter, you're part of this, you are not alone. And when we raise not just the pride flag, but any flag that celebrates the identity and the progress of historically marginalized folks, we're not just making a statement, we're making space. Space for someone to step forward to take their turn, to lead with pride instead of fear. That's the kind of leadership we need, and it's exactly what our next speaker represents. When it's time to take a stand, he doesn't hesitate. He understands what this moment means, why we're gathered here, and that this flag is not just a symbol, it's a signal to and about the people standing right here with us this morning. It is my honor to introduce someone who is truly standing here with us today, Watertown